Hi, I'm George Wang, the product specialist from the product team, and I'm mainly responsible for server products. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build mobile apps with SuperGIS Server SDK. We provide various SDK for different platforms, including JavaScript, Flex, Silverlight, Windows Mobile, Android, and iOS. And now I'm going to show you the runtime SDK for iOS. Here's the agenda. I'll first begin with introducing SuperGIS Server so you can get a big picture about the framework of SuperGIS Server. Then I will introduce the iOS SDK and why you should use it. To use Runtime SDK for iOS, you need to set up your Xcode, which is the developing environment for iOS apps. Last, I will show you how to use Xcode and our Runtime SDK to build an iOS app. In this video, I will only introduce some of the basic knowledge about using Runtime SDK. SuperGIS Server is one of the SuperGIS products in SuperGIS family. The Runtime SDK I'm showing you in this video is included in SuperGIS Server. And in fact, we also provide mobile JS app like SuperServe, which has Android and iOS versions. So SuperServe for iOS is actually built by the Runtime SDK for iOS, which is introduced in this video. Here's a simplified framework for SuperGIS Server. Users use SuperGIS Desktop, which is our desktop JS product, to author maps. Then they use SuperGIS Server to publish and manage map services. Last, they can build apps with our SDK, including mobile apps and web applications. Our Runtime SDK for iOS allows users to build mobile apps using Objective-C language and running on various iPhone and iPad with iOS 7 or above. And the reason why that you use iOS SDK is that the Xcode provides a friendly developing environment for developers and the ability to integrate iOS features, such as ready-to-use icons and GPS and so on. So most importantly is that you can bring the apps to the fields and collect data. And as I mentioned earlier, our mobile app, SuperServe for iOS, is also built by the SuperGIS Runtime SDK. But there are also disadvantages of using the SDK. One of them is that it takes more efforts to build a mobile application. So if you want to quickly build an application to demonstrate your map with iPad, for example, you can use SuperGIS Server Manager to build a web application and browse the website using your iPad and demonstrate it. Okay, before you begin, you will need a Mac running OS X 10.8 or higher to run Xcode, and join iOS developer program to develop and deploy iOS apps. Also, you have to download and install Xcode 6 or the latest version of Xcode. Then the sample project used in this video can be downloaded from our developer network, the SGDN. Now, to begin, you have to set up Xcode environment first. You can follow our manual to set it up, and I will also show you how to do it later. First, you have to include the SuperGIS runtime files and the SDK files. Then you have to set up the environment, including the header search path and the auto links flags. Now, I'm going to show you how to set up Xcode and use our SDK step by step with a live demo. Remember to download the sample project first, and then add SuperGIS runtime and SDK files to the Xcode project. Okay, now here you can see I'm using the iOS simulator, which is shown on the top. You see there's an iPhone simulator, and I'm using the simulator to browse the map created by SuperGIS Server. And you can see you can use the pen tool to pen and use the loon out icon, the loon and loon out, and do the navigations. And you can see there are also other icons for navigate in the including the full extent to navigate in this map, and also the index map here. So Again, if you don't have time to build up a mobile app and you just want to demonstrate your map, of course, you can use the web application and use your iPad or even iPhone to link to the map website and show your map to your audience. Alright then, let's go to our Xcode, and here's the interface of the Xcode. And to set up, we have to go to the building tab, and we search for header search, and then you see I have already set up. So to set up, you have to create a new list here and type in the word created here. You can find this in our manual, so you just type in as instructed in the manual. Then there's another thing to do is to search for the other linker flags, and this one here. And you can see we have created two lists here. One is the Objective-C, and the other is the to create one, you just add. I'll show you how to create one. You just add and type in, for example, Objective-C, and click again. Then you're done. So that's how you do it. And then the next thing you're going to do is to add files at the SDK and the runtime SDK into the Xcode project. So to do so, you just right-click and select Add Files, and then you find the files you downloaded from our SGDN, and here are the two things to add. And also you have to add the SDK runtime files, which is here, the 4 files, into the SuperGIS runtime folder. Then you are ready to go. So you can see these 4 files I have already added to my project here. And after you have done all those steps, then you are ready to build your very first mobile apps with our SDK. Now that you have set up your Xcode, then you are ready to build your first application. All apps begins with adding the map from SuperGIS Server. So this is what I'm going to show you in the following demo. And in this demo, you will learn how to add a map service published from the SuperGIS server. After you added the service to your mobile app, the next thing you are going to do is to create an Explore tool, which allows users to use gestures to pan and run the map. For example, users can touch and drag the map to pan, and pinch the map to run in or run out. So there's one thing that you should know. The map source of the mobile apps created by our SDK only comes from SuperGIS server. And that means if users want to add local map layers like GeoFile or Shapefile to their mobile apps, then they should use SuperServe for iOS instead. To publish a map from SuperGIS server, you should install the product on a Windows Server system like Windows Server 2008 or 2012. You can also install it on a non-server OS for the test use like Windows 7 or 8.1. But be noted that some functions may be a little bit different if you install the product on a non-server OS instead of a Windows Server system. And after the installation, you can use the SuperGIS Server Manager to publish a map service. As I mentioned earlier, you need to use SuperGIS Desktop to design a map for publish. If you are just using a trial version of SuperGIS Server and you don't have a SuperGIS Desktop, you can use the default sample service in the SuperGIS Server, and in this demo, I'll use the sample service. So you can create a web application to test the service if you want, of course. And ways to publish services and create applications are not included in this video. However, there are plenty of videos showing you how to do that. So go to YouTube and search for SuperGIS Server and you'll get what you want. Now I'm going to show you the second demo. First, I will show you a web application built by SuperGIS Server, and I will use an iPad simulator to browse the map website. To let you know that if you just want to demo your map with iPad without building any mobile apps, the web application will be a good choice for you. And then I will demo the mobile app and explain the code behind. Alright, here is the mobile app created by the mobile SDK. And here you can see the map is the same as we shown you on the web application. So yes, the map does come from the SuperGIS server. And again, the map source of the mobile SDK apps only comes from SuperGIS server. So if you want to add your local file to the mobile apps, then you should buy SuperServe for Android or for iOS. And in this app, we have created an Explorer tool so that you can drag the map to pan and use the pinch gesture to zoom in and zoom out. So again, you can see we are panning the map and zooming the map using the Explorer tool. And you can see it is similar from the control of the web application. You can zoom in, zoom out using the tools here and pan the map and things. So basically, the control of the map is similar between the mobile app and the web application. And here I'm showing the code behind. So first, we have to import some headers, including the Mobile Explorer tool, SGS map layer, and you can see here the header is shown here, the SGS map layer here, and there's another one, the map explorer tool for the navigation of the map. You can see it's mobile app, a map explorer here. Okay, and then after that you have to we add the create map. This is the title and the notes for this page is shown here. We can see that there's a create map tab here, and so you enter this page, and it's the page we shown you just before. And then now we're going to create a map view and define the background color. And now let's see what happens if we if we define the background color as the blue color. And then, okay, now let's define, we have to add a service from the SuperGIS server. And here is a sample service. And let's see, in our server manager, the published service list, there's a service named the sample service. Now I'm showing to it is here, the sample service. And we see that it is editable, so it is a feature service. We created it because we have a following service that use the feature service. And now here I'm showing you how to add a map. So we create a server connection and add a map layer to the map view, or report a connection failure if it fails. And then the last thing we are going to do is to create Map Explorer tool and add Map Explorer tool to the web application. And okay, that's how we all the things we have to do, and we build an application. And we see, let's go to the first page to create map. And now you see the background color turns to blue because we change the color. And now we can use the Explore tool to pan and zoom the map. Okay, and we can turn back to the main page. And so this is the map application created by our mobile SDK for iOS. And this is the first demo. After you have added the map to your mobile app, now it's time to create some functions for users to interact with your map. One major thing about showing a map is to communicate with others. So it is important for you and for your app to have an identify function so that users can click on a feature and see its information. For example, if you publish a land parcel map, the users will be able to see the land parcel data from your mobile app. Or if you publish some statistical data such as population, average income, and other socioeconomical statistics, users can also see those information by clicking the features. So in addition to an identify tool, I will also create a loom to full extent tool so that it will be easier to navigate and find the features you want to see. To enable map querying and editing, you need to publish a feature service rather than merely a map service. So you can use the SuperGIS Server Manager to configure a map service into a feature service. If a service is successfully configured as a feature service, then you will see there will be a tick icon in its edit field in the manager, as shown in the figure here. So in the third demo, I will quickly show you the app with identify and full extent tool, and then I will explain the code behind. Alright, here is the second demo, and I'm going to show you the query and edit page, which shows you how to query and add a map from SuperGIS Server. And in this demo, I'm going to first show you the query tool first. And so let's go into the page and see. Now there are 4 tools on the top, which is the extend tool and the query tool, and also the edit tool and delete tool. So these 4 icons comes from the default icon of the iOS SDK. So you don't have to draw your own icon. You can just use the ready to use icon, which I mentioned earlier in the PowerPoint. And then now I'm going to find a feature and query its attribute. So now I see there is a green color here, and which is abnormal. So I'm going to find out what its attribute is. So I click it. You see the feature clicked is highlighted, meaning that the feature is selected. And then I'm going to use the query tool and go into the query page, and you see all the feature fields, all the attributes will be listed here. And this feature has only one attribute called the continent, and continent is Europe. So okay, I know that this place is belongs to France, so the continent becomes Europe because the territory belongs to France. And I can double click it to edit the continent, the attribute. So for example, I don't want to be shown as the Europe. I can type in South Africa to make it right. So I type in South Africa and click down and click save. So then the attribute will be saved to the server, and next time you log in, you will see the feature is being shown as the South Africa features. So now I click OK and go back to the page. So now this is how the query tool works. You can click on the icon and click on the feature, and click on the query icon to see its attribute, and then you can edit its attribute if you want. And then if you want to go back to the full page, then you can click extend, and this is the full extend tool, and you can see the full map after you click the icon. So this is all the application in this demo. So now let's see the code behind. So this is code for the sample here. Now we create 2 toolbars. One is the default bar, and the other is the edit bar. And I just shown you the default toolbar, which has 4 tools. And then here is the description and the notes for the application. We see there's a query and edit map from SuperGIS Server. I show you it is here. Okay, see the second page, the title is query and edit, and the description here, query and edit map from SuperGIS Server. Then I'm going to show you that I had defined 4 tools in the toolbar, and one is the full extend tool and query tool, edit tool, and the delete tool. So in the demo before, I show you the full extend tool and the query tool. So now let's see what happens to it. What do we do to them? So for the full extend tool, we use is a title called extend to represent the tool icon. So we type in extend using init with title, and then we see its action is links to full extend, which I will explain later. And then the second tool is the query tool, and then we init is bar buttons system item using the system item search. So this is also a ready-to-use icon included in the Xcode. So you don't have to create your own icon, and you can use the Apple icon for you to quickly build up your application with beautiful icons and interface. So that people can easily know that, oh, this icon means search. And then we have linked the function to did added feature fields. Now let's see what functions means. And the first is the full extend for Loon to full extend tool. And all the thing we do is here is use the Loon full extend method in the map view class. And then in the second tool, the did added feature fields, it is actually the query tool. So this one is the query tool, and first we use select features to add a select feature tool, and then if any features are selected, if yes, then we show the feature attributes and also show the feature page attribute page, so that you can interact with the page to see the attribute and also edit the attribute if you want. And yes, this is all for this demo. Now let's go back to the presentation. In the last demo, I'm going to show you how to create edit function and a delete function. The edit tool in our runtime SDK for iOS allows user to move, resize, and reshape the features. And the delete tool allows user to delete a feature that is no need anymore. For example, you can build an app with the edit function for your survey team to update the field data for your project. And in fact, you can also use our default web application to query and edit the map. So again, if you don't have the time and skill for building an app, there's always an alternative way for you to show your map using iPad and even iPhone. And in the last demo, I will show you the app with edit and delete function, and also the code behind. Then I will also show you how to use our default web application to edit the map as an alternative. So now here I am going to show you the last demo with the edit function and the delete function. So to edit a feature, let's loon into a feature, and we select the feature first, and then we click edit. And then we can move the feature anywhere using the circle icon below and drag it anywhere we want. And then we can also resize the feature using the by redefining its extent and dragging the icon here. And then also, if we want to reshape the feature, we can also drag the vertex of the polygon and drag it anywhere. And if we want to save the edit, we click done. And if we don't want to save it, we click cancel, as I'm doing here. So the other thing I'm going to do is showing the delete icon. So we select the feature first and click the delete icon on the upper right. So you can see again, the icon comes from the Xcode library, and you don't have to create your own trash icon or other icon for deleting things, and people can easily know that, oh, this icon is for deleting features. And once you click that, you can see there are two options. One is yes, and one's cancel. And so if you want to delete the features, you click yes, and if no, then you click cancel. So This is all this application about. You can edit or delete features in this mobile application. And then now let's see the code behind. So in this app, we have to introduce the other two tools. One is the edit tool and the other is the delete tool. So the edit tool uses the button system item edit, this one, to define its UI button, and then its action is linked to the did edit feature function, and another delete tool is linked to the did delete feature function, and it uses the system item trash icon as its button. So now let's see what happens with to the two functions. One is the did edit feature. So the first thing we do is to select feature first and detect if any features are selected. If yes, then we highlight the feature and we try to edit. We call out the edit tool so that we can move, resize, and reshape the feature. So then the last thing is to switch to the edit toolbar. And I will show you what happens in the edit toolbar later. And now I'm going to show you the did delete feature function. So in this function, there are title called delete features and a message asking, are you sure to delete, which is the message box we see in the iOS mobile. And then we have two options. One is the cancel and one is yes. So if we click cancel, then we don't do anything. If we click yes, then we will delete the features. So now I'm going to show you what happens in the edit toolbar. And here's the edit toolbar. We have an OK button and a cancel button. So in the OK button, we use the system item done as its icon. And then in this cancel button, we use the system item cancel as its icon. So we added two edit tools as the edit toolbar and make features selectable, yes. And once we click yes, we call the did finish function, and once we click the cancel, we call the did cancel function. So that's what we do. And then now I'm going to show you how to use the web application and use the iPad to link to the web application to do the edit and the delete features and queries and so on. So in this web application, using the iOS simulator, as you can see here. And if we use the feature service to create the web application, you can see there are some extra tools, including the identify tool, query tool, edit tool, and the add feature tool. And to query a feature, you click the identify tool and click the layer you want to identify, and then you click the feature you want to identify on the map. And after a while, you will see the feature ID, and the attribute of the feature. And you can close the pop-up window. And to edit the feature, again, you click the edit icon, and you can see we can edit its attribute here. And if you don't want, you just close the window. And also here, the add feature tool, you can pick from the symbol you designed from the desktop, and then you select the symbol you want to edit and click on the feature, click on the map, to create a new feature. So that's how you do to edit features in the web application. And this is all for this web course, and I hope you have learned all what you want in this course. Thank you.